Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
What's going on, guys? It's Filthy and I'm back with another video. Guys, sorry to spam the Barb videos, but I've got a Whirlwind build that will do GR90 in under 2 minutes with only 750 Paragon and level 55 gems. This thing is absolutely disgusting. It's so quick, perfect for gem ups, really great to get your augments on. I reckon once you got your Paragon ranked up, once you had your gems at max level and with some augments, you probably be bashing out GR100s in about 2.5 minutes. I've done 6 or 7 rifts in a row, all of them about 2.5 minutes. It's practically impossible to do a rift in over 3 minutes without getting seriously lost. Guys, I mean, you can see on screen, it's just so powerful and it's so quick, really easy to play, very low brain power, super easy. So before we jump in and we look at the build, obviously this is PTR, so it might well get changed, it might well get nerfed. If that's the case, then I'll either re-upload this video or I'll put it in the comments. So do check back to see where we're up to with the build, but fingers crossed Blizzard keep this as it is. It's absolutely amazing. Personally, I think this is stronger than Veers. There's just no way I could do GR90 in under 2 minutes with Veers with no augments. It's absolutely crackers. But before we jump in, welcome to anybody who's new to the channel. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so, and as always guys, a thumbs up is appreciated. So wrapping up the end of the rift now, pretty much as you can see, we're pretty much done. So yeah, really good build, really pleased with this. But let's jump in and talk about how it works. Now guys, this is a Wrath of the Waste build, so it obviously revolves around the Wrath of the Waste set, so Whirlwind, Barb. This is the starting set for Season 19, so you're going to get this for free in your Hadrig's bag. This is all about rend, so completely forget Whirlwind. We do move like an absolute hurricane in this build. We do suck up stuff and blow it up, but it is pretty much just the rend that's doing the damage. So the 2-piece, rend's damage is increased by 500% and its duration increased to 15 seconds. Really nice. 4-piece, we get a 50% damage reduction whilst whirlwinding, and we also get triple rend damage. Really nice. 6-piece, forget the whirlwind effect, doesn't matter. Rend has its damage increased by 10,000%. Now, when we combine this with the Ambush Pride in the cube, Whirlwind will now apply rend, so all we have to do is hit something with Whirlwind, it gets rend automatically applied, and rend's damage is dealt over 1 second, so a pretty huge damage buff. Now this time we're actually going to take rend on the bar, and we're going to take Bloodbath. Now I'm not 100% certain how this mechanic works, but it seems to be absolutely detonating damage. So what I think is happening is that when we hit something and we apply rend to it, once it dies, because everything that dies will have had rend applied, we get this 10-yard radius around the enemy that died, spreading out a further rend. So it's kind of like a rend on top of a rend. Now I can only assume that this extra bleeding effect in the secondary of this has got all of the multipliers and buffs on it, because it absolutely wrecks. It just completely and utterly obliterates enemies. So the more enemies we can hit with rend, the quicker we can hit them, the quicker we can get more rends out with this passive secondary effect. So really nice. Now we're also going to juice up rend by having the Lamentation belt, so this will give it 2 stacks and it will also increase its damage up to 200%, which is really nice. And then other multiplier wise, we're going to be taking a convention of elements, so we're going to get physical damage. Rend is a physical skill, we've got the physical rune on it anyway, Bloodbath. So when we get to physical, we get a massive damage spike. In some of the rifts in the background, you'll see the Rift Guardian just simply disappear. That's because we land on physical with like a really nice crit or something like that. Now we're also going to take the Mantle of Channeling in the cube. This is another 25% damage increase. We also get some pretty nice damage reduction from this, but yeah, another multiplier. Also we're going to take Bane of the Trapped, flat damage increase, the secondary procs to primary, so we just get a as I say, flat damage. In the footage I had mine at about rank 55-60 and it does the job just fine. We're also going to take Taeguk. Again, we gain increased damage stacking up to 10 times, so we can get an extra 40-50% damage from this. We also get extra armor from this, so we get a lot of toughness, so that's really nice. And then we're going to take a Bane of the Powerful. So once we've killed our first elite or champ pack, we get this extra damage bonus, and we get extra damage against elites anyway. So that's really nice. Now guys, we're still going to keep the Bulkathos blades. So what these do is they give us fury generation per second, which is why our fury is maxed out at the moment. We also get 45% increased attack speed and 45% move speed. Now, I personally like taking these over taking the Echoing Fury and Ambo's Pride and freeing up the weapon slot, because with the Fury generation it means that we can take whatever rune we want on Whirlwind. Now for me, Hurricane actually provides a bit of a damage boost because this will suck enemies in from up to 35 yards away. It makes this really easy. You only have to aim anywhere near the enemies. They get vortexed in, and obviously once they die with rend, your rend then spreads kind of across the screen ahead of you, and this kind of sucking in motion is really useful for grouping up the enemies, blasting them really quickly, and just making the damage really nice. Now also, the advantage you've got of the Bulkathos blades is it's probably helpful for the Rift Guardian, because your Echoing Fury will completely drop off by the time you get to the Guardian. These won't, because it's not a kill effect, it's just 45% attack speed, and the move speed's pretty nice as well. You do get move speed with your Echoing Fury, but not quite as good as these, so I like this a lot. It does help us do these GRs in 2.5 minutes, so I do think they are pretty nice. Now, other gear wise, we're going to be taking an Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac, so when we hit with a spender, which is Whirlwind, we reduce one of our skills by 1 second on its cooldown. Now we only have 2 on cooldown, so we have Ignore Pain and we also have Wrath of the Berserker. So the idea is that we've got Furious Charge as well, but we're only going to use that every so often. So most of the Zodiac procs go into these two, and with 50% CDR or close to it, you'll pretty much have perma uptime on these two. Not quite 100% uptime, but it's pretty nice, it's pretty good. And you'll see from the footage, we don't necessarily need that extra 3 or 4% to guarantee perma Wrath of the Berserker, because we're basically just using it for more damage. Now we're also going to take a Flavour of Time. This will double the effect of our pylons, really nice for speed items. What it means is that if we're doing a 2.5 minute rift, if we get a power pylon, it's going to last twice as long. Conduit, cooldown, shield pylon, they all last twice as long, really nice for speed farming. And we're going to take NEMs as well, because we obviously want to proc elites and champ packs off the pylons. So again, another really nice item for us. That just leaves Band of Might, this staple in most barbarian builds, because 80% damage reduction is just huge. We get this after casting Furious Charge, Ground Stomp or Leap. We will be taking Furious Charge, and again, similar to the T16 version, we use Merciless Assault because the cooldown will be reduced if we hit enemies, which means more Zodiac procs into Wrath of the Berserker and Ignore Pain, and we only want to be using this every 8 seconds to proc the Band of Might, or maybe in between floors to try and chain enemies together to benefit from the season theme. So that's the gear done, so let's look at the skills. Whirlwind, Hurricane, obviously we've talked about. If you do want to swap the weapons, you'll have to put Wind Shear on to get your Fury, but I do like the sucking in mechanic, it makes it really easy. Battle Rage, Bloodshed. Now I've heard that Rend can't crit. I'm not going to dispute that, but it does seem to do an awful lot of damage when I put this rune on. Now I've done the move speed rune, and it seems to just do a bit more damage with Bloodshed, and again these kind of little explosions go off whenever you crit, and again it just adds that kind of wrecking ball feeling. You suck enemies in and you just blow them up, really nice. Wrath of the Berserker, Insanity, we're going to get extra move speed, dodge chance, crit chance, attack speed, and a 50% damage increase, pretty much perma uptime, so that's really nice. Ignore Pain, Bravado, this is here just simply to give us an extra 40% move speed. We also get 50% damage reduction and CC immunity, so again really nice, pretty much perma uptime. Now if you are worried about the damage reduction, you can increase it to Ironhide, that gives you an extra 7 seconds, and basically what it means is that you'll definitely have perma uptime on that and Wrath of the Berserker. But as I say, Bravado, 40% move speed, we may as well take it. Merciless Assault we've talked about, I wouldn't change that. And then Rend, Bloodbath, as I say, this seems to be one of the things that kind of almost over doubles the damage in a way, because you can get obviously a lot of enemies under this 10-yard bleeding effect, and it just seems to almost cascade. As I say, I'm not sure how the mechanic works, I'm not sure if Blizzard intended it this way, so it might well get nerfed, but it is really, really strong. Now passives wise, I've left Nerves of Steel on in all of the footage, but as you'll see I don't come close to dying, so perhaps Berserker Rage would have been a better choice, but it's still GR90 and you might get sucked into explosions, so Nerves of Steel probably not a bad choice. Ruthless, really important. Now when you hit something, you're obviously applying rend. The damage is over 1 second, so provided it dies within 1 second of being hit, then you're getting the maximum amount of your rend. So really, once the health goes down towards the bottom of the monster's health, then the rend goes supercharged, and that's why things just completely melt. So Ruthless, really important. Boonable Kathos, 30 seconds off the cooldown Wrath of Berserker, helps with perma uptime. And then Rampage, this will be up all the time, 25% extra strength, really nice. Now in terms of gems, you're going to want to take a cooldown gem in the helm, obviously to help get to that near 50% mark. And then I've gone for all resist gems in the gear. GR90 does hit you pretty hard, so these will help considerably with your toughness. If you want to take them out, you can put rubies in, you'll get damage and toughness from them, but I've just found that it's a lot smoother with these in and you come a lot less close to dying. Now as for Paragon, I've again heard that rend doesn't proc area damage, so I'll link you to Rax's guide on the Whirlwind set. He's a really knowledgeable player, so go check his guide out if you haven't, but he says area damage is not worthwhile rolling, so I've taken it off mine on his advice. Pretty much cooldown you want roughly wherever you can get it to get up to the 50%. I've not bothered on the gloves, I've kept vitality, but I do have it on both of my weapons. Now one thing I would say is obviously this is PTR, so the gear is pretty nice, it's very easy to get nice pieces, but you know, it's not perfect by any means, and 0 augments and sheet damage of 1,000,000, and obviously bear in mind guys, whilst I was filming the footage, add like 100 less Paragon, so you'll see Paragon will be added as we go. Now I think this build is lovely to play, really easy. So playstyle, what you want to do is you want to numlock Ignore Pain, you want to numlock Wrath of the Berserker. Then as soon as you get in the rift, you want to activate Battle Rage Bloodshed, you want to hit Furious Charge, and then you just want to hold down Whirlwind, and every so often you want to let go, and that will allow these two to come back off of numlock. So essentially whilst you're holding down Whirlwind, you cannot numlock these, so they won't go off unless you release Whirlwind, but all you have to do is glance down on your bar, if you need them activating, let your finger off Whirlwind for a quick second, and that will bring them back up. Furious Charge once every 8 seconds to get your Band of Might proc, which obviously is really nice, or just use it whenever you fancy. It's a really nice mobility skill, and with the Zodiac you do have quite a lot of freedom with it. You'll probably have to press Battle Rage Bloodshed once more during the rift, so obviously just be mindful of that. But other than that guys, there's not really that much that can go wrong. It's really tough, really tanky. GR90 within 2.5 minutes, near enough every time, is lovely. You know, if you had everything juiced up to the max, I'm talking 120 level gems, 120 augments in every slot, you would easily be blasting 100 I think in the kind of the 2.5 minute range, which would just be amazing. It'd be so quick for augments. One final thing guys, for Paragon, move speed up to 25%. You don't need any points in max fury or vitality, so just stick them in strength. For offense you want cooldown reduction, your crits and then attack speed. For your defense you're going to want to take all res and then probably life percent, armor and life regen. And utility, area damage is not needed, so I'd probably go life per hit, resource cost, area damage, gold find, but obviously you know you're going to get to 800 Paragon pretty quick with this build. So that's it guys, this is the speed build. I'm probably going to work on the push build at some point. I'll leave that towards the end of the PTR. I'm planning to move over to the Crusader next, just because I don't want to bring a 4th Whirlwind video in a row. But guys, this has been so much fun. Spin to Win's just been amazing. Please Blizzard, don't nerf this. Leave it as it is really nice to play. So that's the video guys. If you've enjoyed it, leave me a thumbs up and I will catch you in the next video. Peace.
The sanctity of this place has been fouled.